Hi there, I'm Lucy Ascham, family and systemic constellator based in Sheffield and working online. So, if you're thinking that you might want to come to a family constellation workshop, one of the things I often hear is that people are a bit worried that they might overshare or get emotional during the workshop. And I just wanted to reassure you really that um, in a group setting, one of the things that is supported and becomes possible is to get in touch with some of our emotions around really big themes and issues that would be nigh on impossible to do on our own. We might get sort of tumbled by a wave of emotion on our own and eventually sort of pick ourselves and go up. But we're kind of wanting to figure out a way of being able to surf on that and stay afloat whilst these big emotions, these big experiences are explored safely. So, as a facilitator, one of the things that I do is set up confidentiality agreements with a group so that whatever is shared in that session will go no further than those four walls, that nothing that is said would be identifiable to anybody particular in that room after you've left, and that you only share anything about yourself. You don't share about what happened to somebody else and go through all the details of their constellation, but more what came up for you, what touched you, what brought you more alive, or what has brought some healing for you in your body, in your brain, in your life. So the idea that actually you might get emotional, I think is true. So one of the things that when we're carrying trauma, I sometimes think of it like we've got the reason we've got that trauma is often because there weren't enough resourceful people around to actually help us in the moment or in our parents' lives even for us to be sort of fully caught and comforted and helped know that we make sense and that there is enough understanding and curiosity for us so that that big life experience, whatever it might be, is able to then be transformed into life experience rather than trauma and something that continues to be there like a tripwire in our nervous system. So emotions are actually a sign that, you know, we are melting, that this stuff that got frozen in our system is actually getting enough warmth and resonance and care so that it can actually get defrosted and thaw and start to flow again. And this can be hugely helpful. So I always provide tissues, encourage to drink water through the day, very practical things. And, typically at the end of a constellation, there are lots of hugs available if that's your thing. And if that's not your thing, that's okay as well. It's all done by consent. But, it's really useful, I think, to know that emotions are totally welcome. Other people in the group will get to do some of that emotional work for you. They're maybe representing different aspects of the things that you're carrying. So the emotional workload is shared by all the participants in the room, in the group. And when it comes to oversharing, I'm not wanting to encourage people to kind of give too much detail about, their life or other people in it. There are some big themes that we're working with. And so in the interview at the beginning of a constellation, we're having a talk, you and me, in front of the group, but it's a conversation between the two of us. And what we're doing there is me teasing out where we can start, where the tensions are that we can start to look at in a constellation to bring about some meaningful change, to bring about some disentangling, some thawing, some restoring more order and harmony within yourself and your family system. So I hope that's useful. So emotions are very welcome. I will help in terms of what information is most useful or not. And the work being done, in that group setting actually makes it, I think, a bit safer for everybody to recognize that these are shared common human experiences and that when we don't feel like we have to carry them all on our own, that can be a huge relief and part of the healing itself. I hope this has been useful. If you've got any questions, please let me know.